Congratulations, Kwabena Agyepong. You launched your campaign today.
Thank you.
Okay. So, the MPP's guidelines, can we have a look at it, please? Can we have a look at the MPP guidelines? Also, maybe let's start with Kwabena Agyepong. Shall I go on the touch screen and do that? Kwabena Agyepong has said that he is running, which is what you said earlier today. He's formally announced, based on the MPP's opening of nominations, that he's running. Do they have it on the touch screen for me? Is it there? Let me just read that, Kwabena. Then it's part of the guidelines that you have to work with. Okay. So the statement of candidate Agyepong says that this afternoon I called into my TV station. Fundamentally, says that he's running. It's official now. Kwabena Agyepong is running for the event. Okay. Let's see the guidelines that the MPP has released this afternoon about the Congress and the contest. Okay, it's here. It says that pursuant to Article 13(1)(2) of the Constitution of the New Patriotic Party, notice is hereby given inviting applications from members of the party for nominations as party's presidential candidate to contest for the office of President of the Republic in 2028. Nominations for the positions of party's presidential candidate shall open on Tuesday, 29th July, that's today, and close on Thursday, 28th August. Nomination forms may be obtained from the office of the General Secretary at the party headquarters in Asylum Down. Any member of the party wishing to apply for nomination as party's presidential candidate shall obtain the nomination forms after paying a non-refundable nomination fee of 100,000 cedis in banker's draft in favor of the New Patriotic Party headquarters, Accra. The filing fee for the presidential nomination is 500,000 cedis to be paid in banker's drafts in favor of the New Patriotic Party. So that's 600,000 cedis in all. An aspiring presidential candidate shall be required to pay a development fee as determined by the National Council. Development fee. Okay, that's interesting. The presidential primary, that is the National Congress, shall be held on Saturday, January 31, 2026, to elect a party's presidential candidate, and is signed by Justin Kodua. The only new thing here is development fee. Also, Kwabena Agyepong, who is our guest here, is a big fan of Lumba. Anyone who's attended parties in Kwabena Agyepong's house, you know that there was a 24th December party that ran from 2001, I think, all the way to about, when did you stop there? 24th December?
I haven't stopped.
Oh, you haven't stopped?
I had one in 2023.
Okay, I have not been coming. Okay.
You abandoned me.
Not quite. Kwabena Agyepong has his beautiful 24th December parties in his home at East Legon that we all, those days he was press secretary. It was more of a media gathering, a media reunion and all of that. And his many friends, Kwabena Agyepong is a social bird. He has a lot of friends. And they will play Lumba continuously from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. And then you know that when the Lumba song starts, the dance floor. Alan Chamati used to attend those parties. I remember that. So Kwabena Agyepong writes and says that I'm devastated by the passing of my great friend and high life legend, Daddy Lumba. His timeless melodies and powerful lyrics touch the hearts of generations, uniting us in joy and reflection. May the Lord Almighty grant his beautiful soul eternal rest. Photographs of Kwabena Agyepong and Daddy Lumba. Kwabena is in the studio after Kwabena Agyepong's interview. He'll join us to talk more about Daddy Lumba. But now, Kalahari has launched his campaign, and your campaign office is quite impressive. Many people have been talking about it on social media.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, the Asylum Down. The branding looks impressive. So, what is in the offing for this Kwabena Agyepong campaign?
I think it provides an alternative and gives the party an option. I think the party is crying for a new direction, a new dimension. And I do believe it is time to offer that alternative for the party delegates. And that's why I believe that the cry from the grassroots, that we should go back to our roots. I mean, when we talk about noble roots, those virtues, the principles and the values that animated the formation of this party in times of difficulty, those are the values that have waned significantly. That spirit of sacrifice, service, selflessness, dedication, that really made this party an attractive option for most Ghanaians. Today, we are on a trajectory that, in my view, is not sustainable. We have overly monetized our politics. Materialism has gripped the country as a whole. Of course, this is a new era. I mean, in our time, there was no social media. But generally, I think it is time for us as Ghanaians, led by we the politicians, to recalibrate our values, our understanding of governance, public service, why we are here, is exactly what it means, service to the public. It's not about service to self. So to be able to energize the base of the country, let the youth feel a sense of hope. So for me, it is a redemption mission to salvage our party and our country. It's quite clear from the results of the last election that a lot of our own people decided to abandon us in large numbers. Because Nanado got 6.7 million in 2020. In 2024, we were down to 4.6 million. That's a loss of well over 2 million votes on our side. It did not reflect on the other side. That may be the only good thing we can take out of that election. It means if we work hard enough and are able to present a better version of ourselves, a version that connects with the grassroots, that has empathy, respect, discipline, love for one another, all for one, one for all, and reduce the level of individualism that has gripped the party and the country as a whole. So it's not only the MPP, the country is at crossroads. And it is time for us to tell ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, and be honest enough to admit that we are not where we wanted to be right now, both as a party and as a country. And I do believe that my life in politics is a demonstration of what I'm saying. These are not just words. I've served in the very high office of press secretary to the president, was the rank of a cabinet minister. And in those 6 years, I think I worked without blemish. So I believe it is time for us to do a lot of soul searching, sober reflection, to recognize where we have failed as a people and as a party. And I do believe if we listen to the grassroots and we involve them, that belonging, spirit of belonging, participating in what we do as a party, that will energize the base and rejuvenate the base and give ourselves a dog's chance in 2028. Who better to do it than myself? I think I'm perhaps the most viable candidate who for some reason did not have the opportunity to serve in the last administration. So the umbrage that people feel, I think I can communicate well with Ghanaians. I can inspire the younger generation for them to have a sense of fulfillment in working for the larger good of this country. Not for themselves, for the larger good of this country. So I believe that my candidature will restore hope and faith, especially to the many who feel marginalized and sidestepped. There's nothing more difficult than having served this political tradition, especially in those difficult days, and not being given the recognition that you deserve. And that is how come I fronted these proposals that was aimed at bringing all the past officers into the Electoral College and giving them voting rights. A lot of it was accepted. Unfortunately, the one that, in my view, mattered most, which is the polling stations and electoral areas, where the thousands of people work.
Oh, you wanted former polling station executives to be part of it?
To be part of it.
Why didn't they add it? What happened?
Well, the majority at National Council chose not to. And it still hurt me. I thought we would have used the conference to make amendments, but the way the conference was staged, it was difficult to have any serious debate. And again, I was very unhappy with the way the motions were presented.
Why?
We know our constitution is very clear. When you want to change provisions in our constitution, you need a 2/3 majority. And it's very difficult, Paul, to be able to determine from a voice vote what 2/3 is.
But there was at least one amendment that failed on the voice vote.
It still does not matter. I think that as we move forward as a political party, we've got to improve the way we do things. This voice vote was used the first time in 2009, and some of us protested. You know, so I was thinking that several years down the line, it would have improved the way we do our things.
So actual ballots.
Well, I had suggested that the reason why the framers of the Constitution said these motions should be sent to the constituencies a month before was to give them an opportunity to deliberate on each of the motions. The motions were never sent. It was the raw proposals, 300 of them, and you know, we all don't like reading. So to send 300 proposals and expect constituency executives and polling stations to read them was asking too much. I would have thought that the 56 motions, rather, that the committee extracted from the various proposals should have been sent a month earlier. We should have asked the constituencies to hold conferences and evaluate one by one and vote on them. There, it would have been easier, constituency by constituency. So by the time we get to Accra for the conference,
we are coming to announce the results.
That's right. So the General Secretary can go through the various motions and be able to tell that 213 voted for, and this number voted against, and this number abstained. It would have been just a report of what happened. I think that is neater. But we learn from these things. And I think going forward, that has to be changed. The use of voice vote is very crude because, you know, I mean, Paul, you're a lawyer. Now, when the motion is tabled, you are even supposed to allow for counter motions. They have to be debated. You can't debate in the
So apparently they had seen it. When I interviewed Agyepong, he said the constituency had seen it. And he was quite impressed that they had read it.
They had seen the 300 proposals. All of us saw the 56 motions on the day of election. Many of us saw it in that booklet on the day of election. But anyway, it's in the past. I think we should learn from these things. There's no point crying over spilled milk. I'm an eternal optimist, and I love my party beyond a certain point. I feel very uncomfortable when I have to criticize the party. But this is one thing that hopefully going forward has to change. And it's easy to change. It's a matter of just making it travel to the constituencies early enough, letting them take a decision so that it's like what the Americans do when they're having the presidential, they come with the delegates locked, you know, so that we know that out of 47 constituencies in Ashanti, 41 are for and the 6 are against. And you do so around the country, and it's easier, it's neater, it's nicer, you know, but this does not create a good impression because there were some who were complaining that really in certain instances, the nose sounded stronger than the ears.
Yes, but that's what I said. There was a particular amendment that was refused.
But why should that be the case?
It means that if the delegates wanted to refuse the amendment, they knew how to do it.
Well, it got to a point, you know, it becomes a tedium. People don't even pay attention. I was there, and so I know what I'm talking about.
So what's the plan for this campaign? You have 5 to 6 months to...
Yeah, I'm more worried about getting to the people, talking to them, using the mass media, spreading the message, getting them to understand that as patriots of our party, we've got to go back to our roots, which is that sense of voluntarism, that sense of dedication, that sense of doing something for your party and for your country, which appears to have waned significantly.
Across the country?
That's right.
Maybe over the world?
It does not matter, but when I say, Paul, I think it's important as we all grow and mature. We, our generation, are a blessed generation. We are the generation that have seen the transformation of the world. What we are seeing, our fathers never had the opportunity. And what we experience, our kids will never have. So we have straddled the technological advancement and also the change in our values and our virtues as a people. So from being very modest as Ghanaians, now we've become very showy, you know that, because of social media.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even when people are having a meal, they want to take a picture of it and show it, which is very un-Ghanaian. And it has affected, it has pushed the culture of greed in our politics and our national life. So instead of people feeling for the collective, having a collegial mentality, is all about self. And I think we, the political leaders, we have to do our best to change that by leading by example, doing the right things, and denouncing corruption and things that are not good. And some of the things we are hearing of late doesn't give you a lot of comfort, you understand. So I think we are at a stage in our lives as a country that all of us have to work towards the creation of a new politician and a new Ghanaian. A Ghanaian that feels a sense of empathy for the neighbor and that feels a sense of patriotism for the country. And whatever action that you take, begin to question yourselves whether it is in the larger interest of our country. We cannot continue this way on this trajectory and expect to become...
So this is like a revolutionary campaign. You want to bring things back.
It's not a revolutionary. I just want us to do things
track.
right.
Yeah.
I want to be an advocate for what is right, whether it's by my party or the government or whatever. And everybody has a conscience. That's why I say I speak against things like using a voice vote. I mean, this is a common sense approach. You cannot determine 2/3 from a voice vote. So we shouldn't be doing such things. Let's all work towards doing what is right for our country. At the end of the day, I've gone through the political cycle. We were in opposition in the 90s. I was in government as press secretary to President Kufuor in the 2000s, back in opposition, and our party has been in government and back again. That should tell you, both the NDC and the MPP have experienced being in power and out of power. It tells you that politics and positions are transient. It is what you do and the impact you make on the lives of Ghanaians that matter, not how much money you make. You know, so this monetization of our country should stop. It is. And all of us, politicians, and there was an attempt by some to try and make it difficult for people who don't have that much resources to even become presidential candidates, where strange figures were being bandied about. But in the end, good sense prevailed, and now we have what, 600,000? Still a lot of money.
Or you mean it could have been more, based on the initial discussions?
You didn't hear that?
No.
Paul, you have a lot of
that they were asking for 10 million?
I trust.
I had some 5 million.
So tell me what you had.
I had 5 million.
I know, you know, some were even clamoring for more. And I had to stand up and caution that we have the Ghanaians out there. What impression do we want to send to them? Politics is not for sale. The party is not for sale. The country is not for sale. And we should not discourage good people.
But if
from
you can
politics.
cough up 600,000 or
it's
1
not a
million
matter of coughing it up.
to go to
What
276 constituencies.
What is important is politics is about principle. It's about doing what is right and satisfying the needs of our people. That's what matters. And when people believe in what you stand for and they believe in your political philosophy, they support you. I'm getting a lot of support. You talked about my headquarters. Paul, you know that it's been a struggle for me for the last 10 years. I was virtually ostracized from politics. But they are good Ghanaians who believe in the principles that I'm prepared to die for and who are supporting me. So I need your support as well. Whether you can donate 5,000 or 10,000 to my campaign, I'll be very, very happy.
Cedis?
Yes. I mean, dollars are not legal tender in Ghana, so I don't operate in dollars. You know, so all I want to talk to the electorate, that the power resides in their bosom. They have a fantastic and glorious opportunity to get it right, to take a decision that will decide the future of this political party. And the choice is very clear. Either we want more of the same or we want a stark departure from the status quo that we have been used to for the last several years. So I think that Ghanaians are watching, and I hope this becomes a very clean campaign. And we present, as I said, a good version of ourselves. The noise should come down, and I hope that you'll be able to entice us to a debate so that we can really have
to put on the table what people want. Some questions are coming in. Let me know whether you have questions for Kwabena, but this is an important one. Somebody says, hi, Paul. Thank you very much for the interview. As blatant disregard for MPP members following the party's refusal to release the Mike Okwe committee report, Does Engineer Kwabena Agyepong believe in the school of thought that if we fail to open up a sore and press it properly, it will not heal? What do you have to say to that?
Well, what I have to say to that is there are things that you can bring out. I mean, it's like preparing a strategic document for this media house. It's not everything that you like to publish, but those things that needs implementation. And I think that is why we all talked about the reforms and some of the reforms. In my view, we did not go far enough, but that's fine. I mean, we are all different people in the party. It's not everything that I would suggest that the majority will buy. You understand? But I also don't subscribe to the view that you should throw everything out there. No. The reasons why we lost and the difficult things that, the lessons that have to be learned, we learn them in those and we use them to anchor and guide our path going forward. So, no.
So you think the Okoye report should not be made so public to everyone?
No, we've never done that. This is not the first time. Dr. Heyman's report,
Safumafu's
report, and even the NDC.
Kwesi Boche?
Yeah, so these are political reports that you should imbibe and use that to guide your steps going forward. And I think that is what we are trying to do. So they shouldn't expect. Why should we?
But have you seen it as an individual important?
I haven't seen it.
You heard about what is in it?
I heard about, at least Professor Okoye gave us a verbal summary. And for me, what he touched on, which was a common strand, wherever he went, people were not happy with the delegate system. In fact, he used the words, the delegate system is broken. That's Professor Okoye. So I thought we shouldn't have tinkered with it. We should have done more.
An overhaul, a big overhaul.
A big overhaul. I mean, if you go.
But they announced that this process is ending in 2028, whereby then it is expected that all registered and in good standing members of the party can vote at all of these elections.
But you see, the gravity of the defeat that we suffered, you know, so the masses of our party want to see some drastic action taken now. And we've been to conference and made some amendments, some provisions. Even unfortunately, I mean, there's something they are calling a sunrise clause or whatever they call it. So the implementation of some of these expansions will not happen immediately, which is something I'm uncomfortable with. But
well, okay, but most of it is happening for 31st January.
No.
Former polling constituency executives are voting.
If you look at the numbers, all the former constituency executives, former ministers and all that, but that is not a big number.
There's a polling station that's a big
That's right. And so, although I wanted personally, and I pushed that, spoke to that, but somehow...
I was speaking to an MP, Charles Forson of Tema Central, and he said that in all of these analysis, we've only added 1,000. Just about that. Not significant.
That's what I'm saying. That's why in my speech today I talked about tinkering with the Electoral College. I mean, I'm a party person, so I feel it very difficult to disagree openly with some of the things that we do. But I thought we've just tinkered with it. And to make matters worse, the two that we are going to add to the polling stations, which I found completely inadequate, but that was what the majority decided at council, would have given us an extra 80,000. Even that, we are being told now that we can't have it till the polling station elections are held in February. So I was of the feel that if indeed their mandate was going to end in February or March, it is so close to January 31st. Why can't we talk to the polling station and say, look,
run your elections.
We don't want to terminate your mandate of last time. But considering the fact that we want to have an early primary because we want to have a focal point as a political party, and I agree with having an early primary. I am for it because we need to have a focal point that we can rally around. But by the same token, we can speak to the polling stations. The executives, the national executives can make a case that although your mandate is supposed to end in February, can we, for good reason, because we want you to participate, the other two to come and join you participate, maybe can we curtail it by 2 months and let you do it in December so that we can have the polling station elections in November or December and have a new set of polling stations in place so that they can participate.
Originally, that's what somebody said to me, that's really what the decision was.
That is what I thought, but somehow...
They're going to do the polling station elections in November, December. Yes. That's the only one that will be done before January.
Yes, but I'm being told now that it's a bit different. I didn't stay throughout the conference.
No, I think they've announced everything. Yes. There's no election until January 31st. Somebody from Master Planner Junior, who is an MPP full soldier, says that please kindly ask Kwabena Agyepong that if the party members, especially delegates, want him in a certain position to serve, but he also feels to be in a different position, will he sacrifice and follow their call? He didn't say which position.
How do you evaluate their call?
He said, will you sacrifice and follow their call?
How do you evaluate that call? So
well, I think they have.
I know there has been a call for me to be chairman of the party.
Oh, that's what they want.
Yes, but at the end of the day, everybody has their own political plan. Okay, I've been general secretary, ran the party before, so I want to be the flag bearer of the party and be able to transform the country. I'm very passionate about the transformation of Ghana, and so Master Planner, I'm very grateful that you.
They want you to be chairman.
You see me well.
The all-time leader of the party, that situation where
it's also something that I don't understand. I mean, frankly, the party chairman has always been leader of the party.
No, when there was a presidential candidate, it changed a little bit.
The party, even when you have a president, when we go into meetings, the president does not chair. I quite remember President Kufuor at a meeting at the National Old Headquarters. He made a mistake of sitting in the chairman's chair. He was respectfully reminded that that is the chair of the chairman. And although he's president, he can't sit there. So we all understand that. But we all know and appreciate that the presidential candidate is the most important person. Because he's the one whose face is going to be on the ballot. He's the one who has the potential to become the president of the republic. So this talk about the chairman being the leader, for me, it's not there. Because at the end of the day, once we have a flag bearer, all of us,
everyone will gravitate towards the flag bearer.
We've got to work for him.
He's the decision maker.
That's right. So some of these things, it's not everything. You want to select your battles. So those are things I didn't really want to, raise too much of a fuss about. I believe that when the president is there, we all rally around the presidential candidate. For me, all dedicated patriots should do that. So I'm very confident that I'll have the opportunity, God willing, have the strength and the wherewithal with support from people like you to raise the funding, because it takes a lot of money to be able to go around the 276 constituencies, have an opportunity to be in the media and talk to them. And if they do me the favor...
Do you have a mobile money app where people can pay 10 cities, 20 cities, 1 city, 5 cities, 100 cities, 200 cities?
Yes. The last time I tried it, it brought in some amount of money, not too much. But I'll do it again. I'll launch that very soon.
I see. Okay.
But I think resourcul people like you should be able to do more.
I can pay 200 cities every month to Kwabena Agyepong's
You should be able to give me a down payment of 10,000.
Oh, no, I can't. Anyway, do you have some text messages? Some sports reporter sends me a text message that we can talk about later. Ask Kwabena Agyepong that the Asante Kotoko, this very famous old question everybody asks, the Asante Kotoko team of 82 and 83, which was stronger? I mean, this famous question they ask.
Oh, yeah, because football is like that.
It evolves.
Not that it evolves. Sometimes the best team does not win.
That's really the point.
I mean, the team in 82 with Opukwa Free was a better team.
But they didn't win.
The team in 83 were not so as good as, but they won.
Yeah.
So that is life. It happens in life as well.
I see.
It's not always
the better prepared does not always get it.
No, not at all. I mean, life is like that.
The best. I'm preparing to write a book about the best campaign, because the best campaigns that don't win elections.
Oh yeah.
We've seen great campaigns that didn't win elections.
Politics is very different, especially in our part of the world. There's a lot of sentiment.
So you can have a great campaign, but you don't win. You can have
we vote more on sentiment than anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a fact.
But politicians must recognize that.
We don't want to say it, but it is a fact.
Politicians must recognize that. I mean, Akufo-Addo, an MPP, lost votes because he carried a chair into the vehicle, which has nothing really to do with his competence as president, whether he does. But
when you rub
the optics
when you rub
always very important.
People the wrong way, they want to punish you.
Yeah. Whether you are the best leader, you're the best minister, they don't care.
So Ghanaians love their respect. So show them the respect. Don't be dismissive of what they worry about. Take it on board, address it, Even if you can't satisfy it all, let them feel that.
And it doesn't matter how popular you were before.
No.
Nkrumah was very popular. He came to zero.
That's right.
And we've seen people who had won elections, very popular, come to zero. Yeah. It's very difficult for the politicians, isn't it?
Well, I think that we should endeavor to do the right thing. I believe that it is not difficult to do the right thing. Take the right decisions.
With social media, there's a lot of pressure.
Well, I think social media is also having its toll on us. You know, there's no tolerance. We have become very un-Ghanaian, very insulting and disrespectful to our elders. And that's not how we were. You know, that's not how we were treated when we were growing up. We were brought up to respect our elders. And that even if you disagree with them, you do so with respect. So I think the acerbic tongues that are running around the politics in our country, that has to stop. The disrespect for one another has to stop. You know, because it is only when we show respect for ourselves that we can, Ghanaians will feel a sense of belonging to what we do. So it's very important that we change this very caustic style of politicking, which is, has become a dominant feature in recent times in our politics.
We have Kwabena here. He's going to talk about Lumba. What can you say about Lumba just before we wrap up?
As I said to you, I mean, Lumba was a friend, a personal friend. Apart from the fact that as a young person, I loved his songs. And your good friend Kwame Sifekai will always play on Fridays for me and Kwanema. You know,
oh, I see.
Because I loved it. You know, and I saw you show Kempong today.
Yes.
He's also a very close friend of mine. So me and him have met in Kwowu several times with Lumba in his household. And Lumba stays quite close to me. And
oh, I see. At your house
in Legon, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the picture you saw, it's not too long ago. I was in his hall. We chat a lot. He's a very soft-spoken. But when you get to Lumba, the optics you see very different from the personality.
I see.
He's a very calm guy, you know. So you think he's an outgoing. He doesn't go out.
Oh, he doesn't?
Lumba hardly goes out. Sometimes I have to say, let's take a... He will not go out. He stays, you know, so sometimes the music side and the entertainment side is different from the actual personality. Very soft-spoken, and it's a sad story. I mean...
Another question is coming in. That's the last one we'll take before Kwabena comes in. It says, please ask Engineer Kwabena Agyepong, in his honest opinion, the tribal and religious sentiments contribute to the defeat of the MPP in 2024 elections. Very sensitive question.
Some of these questions, in the first place, we shouldn't be asking them, because all of us know the truth. There are things we are all uncomfortable with. That's why I said Ghanaians vote on sentiment. But it doesn't lie in the mouth of we, the politicians, to exacerbate such talk by we repeating this kind of talk. At the end of the day, people vote for a variety of reasons. It's not for nothing that we, the MPP, we've been castigated from time immemorial, from Buzia's time, because of the Aliens Compliance Order, and we've been presented in a certain light by the NDC, and they continue to hammer it. You understand? So these are uncomfortable things, and as Ghanaians, if we pride our Ghanaianness beyond everything, we reduce the propaganda effects of things like that. So respectfully to the questioner, I'm not someone, I'm a politician who is detribalized. Born in Kumasi, schooled in Cape Coast, Kotokraba, Tibitum Kafanse Kakra, and then brought up in Osu, you know, because that's where I grew up, Osu Kinkawe, Rage, and, you know.
That enclave.
That enclave, you know. So I see myself as a Ghanaian first. See myself as a Ghanaian, as a civil engineer. You work on the Voradeb roads, and in those days, you sleep in the bush in Hohoi. Who Asikuma Junction, Breweniase, and Kwanta. That was even before the advent of politics. This is engineering, survey and design. When we were doing the Yamransa Road, you are sleeping in a camp, you know, in Asimmansu, Asimfosu, or, you know, we had what we call the mobile maintenance unit. You go and spend 1 month in Ejuso, 1 month in Offenso. So I'm a detribalized Ghanaian. I've been around this whole country from Hamile to Chuchuliga, to Pusiga, to Jewiwaf, to Keta, everywhere. And I appreciate our Ghanaianness. So I don't like people stereotyping politics, stereotyping Ghanaians into you come from here. I am a Ghanaian first and foremost, and I'm proud of my Ghanaianness. Of course, yes, I was born in Kumasi. My mother comes from Asokore Mampo, my father comes from Oyoko, which makes me a full-blooded Ashanti. But that is neither here nor there. And I think all of us have to strive and stop this tribal thing that is consuming us, you know. And so, Paul, with respect, I'm uncomfortable with
the question is
delivering
answered. Okay, we'll be talking again. I'll be following you on the campaign. But let's take